The Exercise by David Rhodes. The goal is to define the essence of the Corlett system and invite the next generation to learn about the man and his methods. You have in your possession a copy of Corlett's 1973 graduation address in which he sets out the goals of his educational philosophy. It's the longest document created by J.C. and gives us insight into what he was trying to set up in his school. You read this document with a detached, analytical eye. You are looking for those educational insights that strike you as deeply valuable and relevant to today's young people, in particular for your own children, godchildren, or friends' children. You are invited to choose 2 insights from this document that strike you as the most important for today's world. So step 1, redraft these insights in your own words in a way that makes them sound less archaic and more in line with today's jargon. Step 2, explain your reasons for your choice of these 2 insights. When you have done all this and you're completely happy with your response, please send it to johncorlett@gmail.com and David Rhodes at hillaryanddavid@gmail.com. Hillary has 1 L, Hilary, and david@gmail.com. Here are some comments that were excerpted that the JC Society has received. Building character and body. JC points out that the objective behind the rank system was to let students know what progress he or she was making. It was not structured to be a competition among students. The rank system leveled the playing field within the community and set goals for students to progress, judged by the staff and their fellow students. The second element I considered important was JC's concern for good nutrition. My guess is that his choice of organic fruit and produce related to his own delicate health. I also think a respect for food was developed through the in-house dining system. A staff member sat at the table to ensure students ate some of all dishes, which would include vegetables. There was discussion at the table, and at the end of the meal, the students would be dismissed. This was not an assembly line buffet, which can lead to bad eating habits and encourage a social grouping at meal times of self-selected students. It broke up cliques. This was written by Noel Thompson, distributor of artisan olive oil at campobellodoro.com. Character. I'm all for the reinstatement of a ranking system that involves character feedback. With all of its poor application through time, maybe it's the application process that should be adjusted, not the concept of whether it exists. 2 suggestions about which I've thought include: 1, not referring to rank changes as promotions or demotions, but rather as evolutions. And 2, not ranking everyone, but rather only 20% of the student body. I've learned that it's really mostly the 20% that do something. In every community in which I've lived, and Corlett thought of the world as a community, it's usually the same 20% that do most of the volunteering and maybe another 10 or 20% that do the leading. I don't know what the levels of evolution should be named and how one works towards recognition, but that is for the system to figure out. Good luck to those people that try. In my opinion, Corlett was also driven by what he disliked. One thing he disliked was war. He took things that generated conflict and turned them into an understanding. He achieved this by concentrating on the positive and turning it into a philosophy of education. Reflecting on it, his conversion process was a remarkable achievement. Pulling out the essence of JC's thoughts and communicating them so that they are understood in today's world is an important and valuable task. One challenge I see is communicating across the cultural differences of understanding that exist even within the Anglo-Saxon world. Absolutely essential too. The objective is to reach agreement about JC's objectives so that it becomes understood by Russians, Germans, Iranians, Chinese, British, Indonesians, US people, and others. This was John Vornley's statement. He attended the school from 1968 to 76. You can write to him at johnvornley@gmail.com.